Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. In the last episode, we got to witness a fun little slumber party between Naomi and Sachiko, and all the comic mischief that you would expect from that sort of thing. Like a moth to the flame. And after that, we got to witness them actually maintain their red bean soup shop during the culture festival. And now we pretty much reached the point in the story to where we just start the events of Corpse Party Blood Covered. So that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it, really. Other than witnessing a few signs on Seiko's body here that just foretells some very dark things that are about to occur within the plot. But if you are joining me from my Let's Play of Corpse Party Blood Covered Repeated Fear, then, well, I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Otherwise, if not, then, well, what the hell are you doing here? You should go check out my Let's Play on that game, or anybody's Let's Play of that game, really, for checking this game out. Because spoilers for this game. Seriously, go. Read up. Watch the first game. You've been warned. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's load up my file here and continue on proper, shall we?
Oh, 片付いた。みんなお疲れ様。頑張ったね。
Finally done. Good work, everyone. The place is looking like a real classroom again.
くそー。バックレて帰りやがった連中。ただじゃおかねえ。
Those dumbasses who went home without helping sure are going to get a piece of my mind tomorrow, though.
私の委員長としての求心力もまだまだということね。
Not much of a class rep if I can't even hold everyone together long enough to clean up after ourselves. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. She admits it. She is incapable of holding people together. Fire her and get somebody more competent. I vote for Yoshiki. He has my vote. Yoshiki for class rep. Everybody raise hands.
岸沼でさえ残ってるのにね。
Though he did manage to keep Kishinuma here, surprisingly.
うるせえ。
Oh, shut up.
鈴本さん、あなたと過ごせたこの数ヶ月。
Look at that rainy
本当に
sky.
楽しかったわ。
Suzumoto? I just wanted to say, it's been really fun having you here these last few months.
元気いっぱいのあなたに何度救われたかしら。
I can't tell you how many times your positive energy helped bolster my spirits.
みんなあなたのことが大好きだし、尊敬していたと思うの。
Always remember that you're loved and respected.
口には出さないけど、みんなちゃんと見てたんだよ。あなたの人間性をね。
You know, since this game obviously has events that occur both before, during, and after the events of Corpse Party Blood Covered, I'm hoping that some of the characters get a little more screen time than they did in Blood Covered, because I felt that some of the main cast was a bit underdeveloped within the actual story proper. The only thing I could really get, and the only kind of information I could really get on them, besides a few basic personality traits here that you basically glean from actually watching them whenever they appear in the story, were just those character bios that they had me read before I started that game. And while I guess it's better than having no option at all here to really learn about those characters, and thus truly make them seem very flat and underdeveloped, I generally appreciate it more when when a narrative of a story can work actually fleshing out its characters within the narrative itself. But do it in a way to where it's not too heavy on the exposition, otherwise it might end up damaging the pace a bit, you know what I mean? Because there's that because there's that perfect balance with pacing that you gotta strike when it comes to providing exposition on your characters. But this really isn't the time or place to be talking about my own ideas of what constitutes as good storytelling. We gotta get back to this story and let it tell itself. We may not have said much to that effect, but we've all been watching you blossom here. Oh, and before I forget, I also lowered the music volume a little bit, because I listened a little bit to the first episode, and I felt that the music kind of was a little on the loud side, to where it made it a little difficult to hear me properly at times. But I didn't want to lower it to where you guys couldn't hear the music either, because, well, frankly, I care about strike, because frankly, I would consider that an annoyance if I was an audience member and the person whose commentary I'm watching here would lower the in-game volume so much to the point where I could barely hear the game at all. So I'm hoping that I got the sound levels at a level to where it's a perfect balance to where you guys can hear me okay and hear the game itself and its music okay too. The sound doesn't favor one or the other, me or the game. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed on that.
周りを気遣ってみんなを立てて陰では一生懸命努力してた。
I lent a hand where I could and did my best to help guide you, but ultimately, you walked your own path and have become a fine young woman.
先生。
Miss Yui.
意識もせずにそれが実行できるのは本当にすごいことなんだよ。
It takes a special person to achieve what you've done without even realizing it.
あなたの副担任でいられたこと、私誇りに思う。
It's been an honor to serve as your homeroom TA.
向こう行っても元気でね。
I wish you all the best at your new school.
はい。
Thank you.
そう。文化祭後の連休を挟んで、鈴本さんは転校してしまうんだ。
Unfortunately, this teary farewell brought us all back to reality. During the holidays following the culture festival, Suzumoto was being transferred.
今日が実質最後の登校日だったの。
This was to be her last day at Kisaragi Academy High School.
みんな鈴本さんのことは大好きだった。
Everyone here loved her, so this was a sad occasion indeed.
本当に裏表のない優しい子で、これから毎日会えなくなるんだって思うと寂しくてたまらなかった。
She was truly a kind person, possessing no ulterior motives and harboring no ill will toward anyone. The thought of her leaving was just plain depressing.
時間も遅くなり、いよいよお別れっていう時に、
But time waits for no one, and sadly, the time had come to say our goodbyes.
階段好きの委員長が幸せの幸子さんっていうおまじないを出してきたんだ。
As one final hurrah, our cult-obsessed class rep asked us to perform some friendship ritual called Sachiko Ever After. And thus begins the biggest mistake the class dog has made in her entire life.
彼女はカバンから紙でできた人型の片白を取り出した。
Upon mentioning it, she produced a paper doll from her bag.
どこかの神社で見たことがある悪いことを身代わりに受けてくれるというあれにそっくりだった。
It looked a lot like those proxy dolls you'll sometimes see in Shinto shrines, designed to absorb bad karma in somebody's place.
ビジュアル的に呪いの儀式みたいでなんだか怖い。私以外のみんなもぎょっとしてた。
Visually, the whole thing seemed just like a set for a cursed seance or something. I hope I said that right. It was kind of scary, and I wasn't the only one who thought so. You should trust those gut instincts. But who am I kidding? We all know that whatever gut instincts you people listen to, you clearly didn't follow them, and well, you all paid for it. Dearly. This is... Well, it's a charm that I found on the internet.
これをするとね、その場にいたみんながずーっと一緒につながっていられるっていうおまじない。
If we do it right, then all of us will be together forever.
永遠に友達でいられるんだって。
Or we'll always be friends anyway. That's the gist of it.
ほう。
Interesting.
どうやるの？
So how does it work?
ダメだ！これはダメだ！
No! Don't do this! You know, I just now remembered something that, the Victor told me during my, Let's Play of Corpse Party Corpse Party Blood Covered, Repeated Fear. If you're still watching, the Victor, I believe you told me that, one of the wrong ends I got for the last chapter of that game served as the beginning of this game. And now that I'm seeing Satoshi act this way, now I'm remembering that wrong end, and well, suddenly Satoshi's gloomy appearance from the first episode now makes sense to me in hindsight. Anyway, yeah, you were telling the truth. Not that I had any reason to believe that you weren't, but yeah, you were right. No, don't do this!
みんな、危険だ！これはしちゃダメなんだ！命に関わる！
Seriously, don't do this. It's dangerous. Our lives are on the line.
Satoshi!
Satoshi. So this whole time I've been basically playing a loop, basically a time loop. Even during that slumber party between Naomi and Seiko. Wait, so that's probably how the marks appeared on her neck. Because I'm in a time loop right now. So I'm basically just dealing with time loops in this, huh? And the whole talks of deja vu. Yeah, that's all. Everything's now making sense now with all that stuff. Don't you think that's going a bit overboard?
あれあれ？
Seiko, you just make the best laughs.
違う！冗談じゃないんだよみんな！
Look, I'm not joking. I'm dead serious here.
怖がりのサトシが必死で嫌がってる。そんなに拒否するほど怖いかな。
Satoshi had always been easily spooked, and in true form, he was pleading for his life that we stop what we were doing. It didn't sound that scary, though. Does it? Really? He always pleads for his life like this whenever something spooky happens? I thought he was famous just for screaming like a girl.
大丈夫よ、持田くん。これはいつもの怖いやつじゃないから。
Don't worry, Mochida. This isn't my usual creepy fare.
お前がそんな
Then
に
your
意地張
usual
るのも
creepy
珍しいな。
Then you need to stop your usual creepy fare if it makes him react like this, because clearly it has bad effects on our poor boy here. I gotta say, it's rare to see you get this worked up. Then what is that in? Okay, we're getting two conflicting bits of dialogue here. Naomi's acting like this is normal for him, while you are acting like it's rare for him to get this worked up. Are you two from different timelines or something?
怖がるサトシをよそに、みんなのおまじないは進行していく。彼一人、目に涙を浮かべてそれを見ている。
In the end, eight of us proceeded with the ritual as planned, while Satoshi sat it out off to the side, tears in his eyes.
なんだかかわいそうになってきた。
I kind of felt bad for him. Nowhere near as bad as me and him are feeling for you.
でも鈴本さんのためのおまじないだし、やってあげたいし。どうしたんだろう、サトシ。
But this was for Suzumoto. We all wanted to give her the best possible send-off, so all I could really do was silently wonder what had gotten into him.
頼む、やめてくれ。これはやっちゃいけないことなんだよ。どうして分かってくれないんだ。
Please, I'm begging you, stop this! Don't go through with it! Why won't anyone listen to me?
あれ、これ本気の時のサトシだ。え、サトシ、何が言いたいの？
He's really serious. Like, as serious as I've ever seen him. What is this, Satoshi? What is it that has you so worried? Then maybe you should just stop what you're doing and ask him.
同じ日が繰り返されている。俺には分かるんだ。この先大変なことが起こる。
It's a time loop. This has happened before. All of this. I remember it. And what's coming next is worse than you can possibly imagine.
もう終わるから、いい子で待ってて、もちたくん。
Sorry, but I'm through trying to convince you. Just be a good boy and wait for us to finish, okay?
繰り返してる。
Time
院長が
loop?
言ってた騎士官ってやつ？
Is he experiencing deja vu like me? Is some new destiny being born inside of him, like the class rep had said before?
そういえば、
Well,
なんだろう。
you could certainly say that. You could certainly say that.
このおまじない、なんだか。
Come to think of it, this does feel a little familiar. This room, this atmosphere, this charm.
おまじないの紙人形をつかみながら、私は自分の記憶を遡っていた。
I obediently dug my nails into the paper doll. But all the while, I was frantically foraging through my memories, trying to figure out what I was missing.
じゃあみんな、引っ張ってちぎっちゃって。
We're going to pull on it until it rips apart into 9 pieces, okay? On the count of 3.
青ざめた顔をして、サトシが紙人形を掴んで参加する。
With a pallid face, Satoshi quickly rushed over and grabbed the paper doll himself. He was joining us after all, it seemed.
ようやく意地を張るのをやめたね、と微笑むみんなの顔とは反対に、私は嫌な予感がどんどん膨らんでいた。
Everyone else smiled at him as if to say, "Finally, you've come to your senses." But I was just starting to get a really bad feeling about this. Please listen to that bad feeling, you silly fool.
待って、これ本当に。
No. No, there's definitely something wrong here. That a girl! Listen!
せーの。
Ready? 1, 2... No! As soon as I reached the hallway, I fell to my knees with a thud.
なんなのあれ、人、真っ黒だったけど。
No! No, no, no! What was that? A person? It was pitch black, but I swear it was shaped like a person.
パニックになる私の目の前で、開け放たれた保健室の入り口から黒い影がゆっくりと出てきた。
The school infirmary doors hung open near me, and in my panicked state, I swore I'd seen a black, shadowy figure within it.
殺してやる。
No! Disgusting. Anybody got a napkin for you?
パニックになる頭の中を整理する。何だったの今の。
My mind had been completely overtaken with fear. What was that?
何が起こってたの今。黒い霧みたいなものが私の全身から、口から耳から体の中に入ってきていた。
What just happened? That dark, misty entity came toward me and entered my body from every orifice. It came in through my ears, through my mouth. Oh, I see. Is this kind of showing what could have happened after one of those wrong ends?
喉の奥に太いものが詰まってて、息ができずに一瞬意識も飛んだ気がする。
I felt an enormous lump in my throat, blocking the flow of air into my lungs and momentarily teetering me on the brink of unconsciousness.
私は今殺されかけたんだ。
I was almost killed. No, I think you managed to get away from it before it really got its hooks into you.
胸の奥に大事にしまっている
I think I remember
命を
now.
まるで冷たい手にわしづかみにされたようで、私の体はすべての器官がひっくり返ったように乱れていた。
It felt as if a cold hand reached into my body and grabbed hold of my life's energy, turning all my internal organs inside out and leaving me for dead.
胃がおかしい、腸がおかしい、足がもつれる。人間はプレッシャーだけでこんなにも体が狂うのか。
My stomach was churning, my bowels were on fire, and my legs were all twisted around themselves. Can pressure alone disrupt the human body this much? You'd be surprised.
喉に残る自分の胃液の味と匂いに、私は再び吐きそうになるのを必死でこらえていた。
The odor and flavor of my own gastric juices still gnawing at the back of my throat. I felt like I was going to throw up again. But I held it in.
見覚えがある。
I remember this. So it's showing... So it's now continuing the loop. So... We're on the second loop now, yes? Well, not the... Well, I guess technically first loop, because... Or second... Whatever. This is the second time that we're going through this whole nightmare. This place. These circumstances.
私、絶対覚えがある。ここに来たの、初めてじゃない。
I've been here before. I know I have. Exactly. That's what your boy Satoshi was been trying to tell you guys, albeit very poorly.
幸せの幸子さんを行った私たちは、すごい音がして教室の真ん中に穴が開いたと思ったら、気がつくと古びた廃校舎の中にいた。
After performing the Sachiko Ever After ritual, there was a hellish noise. Then a huge hole appeared in the floor. And then I was here, in this school.
サトシやシシド先生、委員長たちの姿はなく、私のそばには聖子だけが倒れていたの。
There was no sign of Satoshi, or Miss Shishido, or the class rep, or anyone else. Only Seiko was still near me, collapsed in a heap on the floor.
聖子と私は二人で励まし合って校舎の探索をしていたんだけど、玄関も窓も全部閉まっていて、外へ出ることができない。
Seiko and I explored the decaying building as best as we could, but there was no way out. Not a single window or outer door could be moved or even broken. I was just thinking, we're in the school, so darkening had to be in play, and look at that. 5% darkening. So I'm already coming under the effects. But how do I stop it?
そんな中、サトシの妹、ユカちゃんの声が廊下の奥から聞こえたの。
Just as our last shreds of hope had begun to vanish, we suddenly heard Satoshi's little sister, Yuka, cry out from somewhere just out of sight.
足をくじいて動きづらい私を保健室のベッドに休ませたまま、聖子は一人でユカちゃんを探しに行ってしまった。
I sprained my ankle pretty badly, and I couldn't walk very well. So Seiko went off alone to find her while I rested up in the infirmary.
そこへ一人になった私を狙いすましたかのように、真っ黒い人影のようなものが現れて襲いかかってきたんだ。
And that's when the dark, shadowy figure showed up and began attacking. I really gotta say, it's nice having HD CG artwork to look at, rather than just upscaled artwork, like I was seeing with Corpse Party Blood-Covered Repeated Fear on the Citra emulator. Everything just looks so much cleaner and crisper, and I really like that.
怖かった。
Which I mean, which I was hoping it was, because this is the PC port of this game, after all. One upscaled CG artwork and graphics and other stuff like that was one of its one of the features advertised for it. I was scared, so scared, so scared, so scared, so very scared.
歯が勝手にカチカチとなる。唇が別の生き物のようにブルブルと動く。
My teeth were chattering and my lips were quivering as if they had a mind of their own.
どうして私を一人にするの？
Why would she leave me alone like that?
私も一緒にユカちゃん探しに行くって言ったのに、どうして一人で行っちゃうの？聖子、足手まといってこと？
I told her I'd go with her to look for Yuka. So why? Why'd she leave me behind? Was it going to slow her down? Was I going to get in her way?
Naomi! どうしたの？大丈夫？
Naomi, what happened? Are you okay?
聖子。
Seiko.
そんなことが。一人にしてごめんね。大丈夫だった。
What? Oh my god, are you alright? I'm so sorry I left you by yourself.
聖子の顔を見たら、体の震えが止まった。
Just seeing Seiko's face quelled my shivers.
この子がいると、本当に安心する。しがみついて、泣きじゃくりたい気持ちになる。
Whenever she's around, I feel so at ease. And at that moment, I just wanted to cling onto her and cry my eyes out.
素直に、そうすればよかった。
Still have that mark around your neck, I see. I should have just done it. But instead...
私のこと、置いてって。怖かったんだから。
Just leave me alone. Do you have any idea how scared I was?
ごめんね、ナオミ。一緒に出口探そう。
I'm sorry, Naomi. Come on, let's try to find a way out of here together.
知らないよ。やだ、もう。ほっといてよ。どうせ脱出なんてできないんだ。
What's the point? Just forget about it. Leave it alone. We're never getting out of here.
安心感からか、私の胸の奥からはまるで拗ねた子供のように、大粒の涙とともに怒りの感情が溢れ出してきた。
Maybe it was the safety of Seiko's presence that did it, but all the fear welling up within me suddenly turned to anger. I was like a spoiled child. I see the darkening still at 5%.
この子に当たっても仕方がない。この子は何にも悪くない。分かっているのに、私は言葉を止めることができなかった。
Nothing good could come of lashing out like this. Seiko didn't do anything wrong. I knew that, but I couldn't stop myself from saying what I said.
心底心配してくれているのに、守ってあげると決めたのに、聖子の顔を見て、私の甘え性にますます火がついていく。
She was genuinely concerned about me, and I'd sworn to myself that I'd protect her. But my sense of reason was fighting a losing battle.
このまま行方不明で、お母さんにも迷惑かける。ほんと最悪。
You realize we've gone missing, right? How do you think my mother's going to feel? She's going to be worried sick about me. There's nothing I can do.
ナオミ、大丈夫だよ。そんなこと言わないで。
Naomi, please, don't say things like that. It's going to be all right.
だってそうじゃん。私が帰ってくるまで、きっとずっと探し続ける。
Like hell it is. She's going to keep searching for me until the day I finally come home.
お母さん仕事あるのに、足引っ張って。
It is,
邪魔して。
and she has work, you
もう
know?
親不幸だよ。
This whole situation. It's not right. As long as I'm here, I'm nothing but a nuisance to her. I'm a terrible daughter.
ここで死ぬ私が見つかるわけがないのに、無駄なことさせて。
And we're just going to die here anyway. So all that time she spends looking for me will be wasted.
この時、聖子と話しながら私はさらに別の考えに心を支配され始めていた。
By this time, my mind had been completely overtaken. I wasn't myself anymore. I was running on autopilot, horrified by the words coming from my mouth.
この流れはダメ。
No. I know how this ends. Then clap your hands over your mouth and stifle it!
無駄じゃない。
You're wrong!
家族ってね、迷惑とか足引っ張るとか、そういうものじゃないよ。
Families aren't like that. It won't be a nuisance. It won't be a burden. And you're not terrible.
うまく言えないけど、その人のためなら何だってできるものだと思うの。
I don't know exactly how to say this, but when there are loved ones involved, you'll do anything for them.
さっきの既視感が戻ってきて、どんどん確信に変わっていく。
There it was again. Deja vu. Everything was falling into place.
そう、私はこの先の運命を知っていた。このまま進んじゃうと。
I knew what was going to happen. I knew what fate had in store if we continued down this road. So clamp that mouth up already. Shove your fist up it.
だけどそうだよね。心配はかけるべきじゃない。夏美お母さん優しい人だし。
But I guess I can see where you're coming from. Your mother is a really kind person. The last thing you'd want to do is worry her.
だからそうならないように。ねえ、ナオミ、大丈夫だよ。
That's why we need to make sure
絶対に帰ろう。
That's why we need to make sure that doesn't happen. Right, Naomi? We need to get back home.
あんたの家はどうだか知らないけど、普通はそんなおめでたい考え方できないよ。
I don't know how it is for you and your family, but normal people don't work that way.
このままだと。
No. It's happening. Whoop. Wrong one. There we go.
聖子が首をつって死んじゃう。
Seiko's going to get hanged. She's going to die.
謝んなきゃ。
I have to apologize.
やだ。
No.
やだ。ナオミにこんなこと言われるの。やだよ。こんな。
don't want you, of all people, to speak to me like that. Please, Naomi. Tell me that's not how you really feel.
Seiko!
Sachiko. Okay, we got a choice. And I can pull this up. I'm going to save right here. Let's apologize.
このままじゃいけない。
Did it
聖
just
子をこ
quick
こで
save?
一人にしちゃいけない。
If I don't say something to calm her down, Sachiko would run off. And I knew she couldn't be by herself right now.
私はとっさに謝ろうとした。でも
So I pulled myself together and tried apologizing to her. With the words,
聖子、
Sachiko, I'm so... You can do it, Naomi. I believe in you.
喉に何かが絡まって息ができないほどむせ込んだ私はその場にしゃがみ込んでしまった。
The words wouldn't come. I said I believed in you! As soon as I tried to form something caught itself in my throat. I found myself unable to breathe and doubled over in a fit.
ナオミ、大丈夫？
Naomi, are you okay?
私があなたの気持ちを逆なでしちゃってるのなら悲しいけど。
I'm sorry, Naomi. If I'm bothering you, I'll go. I hate to leave your side, but if that's what you want, I won't argue. Don't go, you precious cinnamon roll! Stay!
聖子!
Sachiko! Gah! Wait!
走っていく聖子の後ろ姿が小さく暗く消えていく。
Sachiko
取
ran
り
off
返し
into
の
the
つかない選
distance,
択をした気がした。
her figure growing smaller and darker until it vanished altogether. I knew I'd made an awful, irreversible mistake.
聖子に向けた私の意識をある違和感が強制的に引き戻す。
That sense of dread I'd felt moments before had come back full force. I could sense a malevolence within me, an outside hand that made me lash out at Sachiko.
口の中に異物感。何か入ってる。私は慌てて口の中に指を突っ込んだ。
It felt like something was in my mouth. I had no idea what, but there was definitely something in there. I stuck my finger in and tried to dig it out. ズルズルズル。 Ew.
私の喉の奥から絡まった長い髪の毛がたくさん出てきた。
My finger found something and pulled, and out from my throat came large clumps of long, black hair. Sachi? What did I tell you about leaving your hair in everywhere? Now you're even putting it in people? Have you no shame?
真っ黒な髪の毛は引っ張っても引っ張っても出てきた。
I just kept pulling and pulling. I couldn't believe how much there was.
胃の中から食道を通って私の手のひらまで途切れなく。
The strands stretched all the way from my stomach through my esophagus and into my hands. And even then, there was still more to pull.
扁桃腺が刺激されてまた戻してしまいそうになる。
The motion was unnatural. It was creating a repulsive, sickening sensation along my tonsils. I felt like I was going to throw up again.
何よ、髪の毛。これが今喉に絡みついた。
Where the hell did all this hair come from? Was this all stuck in my throat?
「おぼろげだった未来の記憶は確信に変わっていた。何か理由があって私は同じ現実を繰り返しているんだ。
It was only a faint notion before, but now I was certain. I was remembering some future event. I didn't know how, I didn't know why or how, but I was repeating time.
謝ることも許さないってこと。
Am I just not allowed to apologize?
何かの力が働いてる。何かがまたこの世界でも聖子を殺そうとしている。
I could feel a dark will guiding me. Someone or something wants Seiko to be killed in this timeline as well.
ダメだよ。そんなことさせない。
But I wasn't going to let it happen. Then you might want to strap yourself to a table or something. I don't remember ever finding any belts lying around. Actually, wait, there might be some corpses lying around with belts on their jeans or pants. Use those. As morbid as that may be.
絶対させないから。
Not without a fight.
とにかく追いかけなきゃ。謝ろう。あの子を一人にしちゃダメ。
I have to go after her. I have to apologize. I can't leave her alone like this.
私は聖子の走っていった方へ廊下を駆け出した。でも
I ran as quickly as I could in the direction Seiko had gone. But then you're just being played. Yay, another earthquake. No!
立っていることもできないぐらいの激しい地震が起こって私はその場にしゃがみ込んでしまった。
A fierce earthquake began shaking the building. It was so violent I couldn't even stay standing. I crouched along the ground, waiting for it to pass.
校舎全体が揺れる暴力的なまでの恐ろしい爆音。
Everything was moving, and there were sounds of objects cracking and breaking all around me.
そこら中でガラスが割れたり天井が崩れ落ちたりしている。
Glass was shattering. Ceiling tiles were raining down upon me. I was scared for my life. So scared. So very, very afraid.
こんなところにこのまましゃがんでいたら死んじゃうかもしれない。天井が落ちてきて穴が開いて。
I was certain I was going to die. Maybe a big chunk of ceiling would fall on me, or the floor would open up at my feet and swallow me whole.
どんな死に方するの？体が潰れるの？どんな痛みなの？どれぐらい続くの？
I kept wondering how it was going to end. Was I going to be crushed? How badly would it hurt? How long would it go on before I finally died?
いろんな想像が頭の中を駆け巡るけど体が少しも動かない。危機に直面した時の自分の無力さを私は改めて実感していた。
My head was swimming with all kinds of worst-case scenarios, while my body just remained emotionless on the ground. I'd never felt so helpless before. My darkening's gone up 10% now. Did I make the wrong decision?
早く終わって。
Or is it just the earthquake? I didn't even care anymore. I'd take any release I could get. Just make it stop.
体を小さく丸く硬直させたまま私はただ祈ることしかできなかった。
But there was no release for me. All I could do was curl up into a ball and pray. And it's finally stopped.
どれくらい経っただろうか。
I wondered how much time had passed.
一瞬にも数分にも数時間にも思えるほどの恐ろしい時間が過ぎて、校舎はようやく静寂を取り戻した。
It could have been only a moment, a few minutes, or even a few hours for all I knew. Shook you up quite badly, I see. But it did finally end, and the dark corridors were silent once more.
体中をこわばらせながらゆっくりと体を起こすと、頭の上から埃や木くずがパラパラと落ちた。
I gradually loosened my stiff body, uncurling from the floor. Blotches of dust and wood chips fell from my hair.
服の中にも砂みたいな細かい粒子がいっぱい入ってて、ジャリジャリ言う。気持ち悪い。
Some of the finer debris had gotten into my clothing and was crunching around like sand with my every movement. It was not pleasant.
服をつまんでバサバサと払い、スカートをはたいて立ち上がってみた。
I brushed myself off as best as I could and slowly rose to my feet, slapping my skirt in vain to clear away any excess dust and dirt.
埃が舞い、白く煙る廊下を見渡すと、そこには
The particles in the air were like a white smoke billowing through the pitch black hallway. It took me a moment to get my bearings.
絶望的な状況が私の前に横たわっていた。
Once I finally did, though, I almost wished I hadn't. The sight before my eyes instantly washed away what little hope I may have had. The pathway is destroyed. I can already see that. What?
今の地震で床が抜けて、向こう側へ、聖子の方へ進むことができなくなっていたのだ。
The earthquake had completely caved in part of the floor. It was no longer possible to continue down this hall. No longer possible to trail Seiko.
もう少し向こうにしゃがんでいたら、床の亀裂に飲み込まれて、私は無事に済んではいなかった。
If I had been cowering from the quake only a few feet ahead, I'd be dead for sure. Swallowed up into whatever hell lay down there.
穴の縁に膝をつけて、穴の底を覗き込む。
I knelt down by the edge of the hole and peered within.
暗くてよく見えないけど、この校舎、意外と階ごとの天井が高い。
It was too dark to tell for sure. But if what I thought I saw was correct, then the ceilings in this school were unreasonably high.
さらに下の階の、ちょうどここから真下の床にも穴が開いたみたいだ。
To make matters worse, it seemed like the floor directly below had fallen out as well.
ここから落ちたら、どこまで落ちていくんだろう。身震いしながら、私は腰を上げた。
I didn't dare consider just how deep this pit might go. All I knew was I couldn't risk falling into it. Shivering in terror, I pulled myself up.
どうしよう。どこか別のところから回り込めるかな。
What can I do? Can I get around it? Well, if history is going to end up repeating like you fear it will, you will find a way.
急がないと。
For the worst. I have to hurry.
急がないと、聖子が自殺してしまう。まだ間に合うんだ。
I definitely had to hurry. If I didn't, Seiko would commit suicide. But there was still time. You're still at 10%.
今度こそそんなこと絶対させない。そんな運命変えてやる。
I was determined not to let it happen. No matter what, I was going to save her. I was going to change her horrible fate. Search mode? Oh. Well. So I guess I'm just looking around the environment then. Let me just save here. I'm assuming the number 1 in there is referring to the chapter number. So, what the hell am I looking for exactly? Actually, I think it'd be better if I just used my mouse. No. Wrong button. So, is there anything on this map I can examine? Anything at all? Okay. So this is how I move.
やだ。
I don't like this place.
ここはさっき私が襲われた場所。できれば早く出たい。
The infirmary was where I'd been attacked. I didn't want to stay in there any longer than I had to.
体中を怪我されたようなあの感覚は二度と経験したくないもの。
That horrible sensation of my body being overcome by that hair-like mist was something I'd never hoped to experience again as long as I lived. Wait a minute. Okay, it changes color. So... okay. All things considered, there's surprisingly little dust on these beds. There's nothing under them, is there? No, there isn't. Good. Okay, so... it shows this stuff in the message log too, so that's good. Kind of wish it changed color to a different color than blue to show that I already examined something. But I guess I can work around that. There's a pair of scissors on one of the shelves. Its blades are stained with blood. Doesn't say anything different, so... Proper procedure for dissection. Oh, this lovely piece. I remember this lovely piece. First and foremost, you must ensure that both arms and both legs are firmly pinned down, such that the subject is completely unable to move. Next, make a clean incision across the stomach and carefully peel the skin on both sides, exposing the subject's innards. Use pins to keep the... I'm not sure I even want to know what that says. The remainder of the page is so stained and faded that it's completely illegible. Well, it's probably for the best, Naomi. There's a photo here.
ボロボロに傷んだ白黒の写真は撮影された年代の古さを物語っていた。
Who the hell are you? The paper was cracked and warped in various spots, and the picture itself was in black and white. Clearly, this was not a recent photograph.
若い男性が一人写っている。まるでお見合い写真のよう。
It was just a simple shot of a man, looking directly at the camera. It had a formal air to it, as if it were used for an arranged marriage interview.
誰だろう。この机の持ち主かな。それか家族の写真。
I wonder who this is. Was he the man who worked at this desk? Or a family member, maybe? That is a good question. Anything else? This photograph of a young man on the desk. Nothing. There are a large number of bottles lined up on the shelf here. Each one of them seems to be packed tightly, with small chunks of unidentifiable meat. And the smell suggests they've been here for quite a while. Well, I doubt it's beef. Here's the old heater. It's an old-fashioned space heater, but it's so full of ash that it'll probably never light again. Nothing in there. Yeah, it's a habit I picked up from my Ace Attorney days, but I always double check things in the environment in visual novels like these if I have the ability to check them, just in case there's anything there that I can only see if I examine an object twice. So that's pretty much the reason why I'm doing that. So I hope that doesn't annoy you guys. So there's... Wait a minute. No, that's just a space heater. Anything else? Anything at all? I don't want to miss anything. Hey. No, I thought it was just going to examine the chair. I think that's everything. Nope. Not that either. Not that. Crap. How did I pull that damn thing up again? Seriously, how did I... There we go. So how big is this map? This pretty much looks like the layout of the school on the second floor. Can I jump? Okay, so you let me do that. That's convenient. There's a large hole in the floor, too big to jump across. Getting to the other side won't be possible from here. That's unfortunate. Okay, so there's nothing in these halls. Okay, hey, get back there. Let's try here. Somebody get this fly away from my ear. Both of them. Ugh. I both give props to and I condemn the sound engineers for this here, because that buzzing noise I'm hearing around my ears is pretty good, but it's also just as annoying as having an actual fly buzzing around your ears. Make it stop. Ugh.
壁に叩きつけられて飛び散った人の内臓のようなものがこびりついている。ものすごい匂い。
Hi, Mayu! There was a mess of blood and entrails on the wall, as if someone were launched from across the corridor at tremendous speed and splattered on impact.
さっき聖子が言っていたけれど、本当に生臭い、 臓器特有の匂いって有無を言わさず吐き気を催させる刺激がある。
The smell was positively vile. Seiko had commented on it before, but it was really hitting me now. Every breath I took was triggering my gag reflex.
また吐き気がしてきた。
It was all I could do not to vomit again. Oh man, I have to listen to this damn thing even while I'm looking at this hall? Somebody give me a fly swatter. Okay, I don't think there's anything here, so I'm just gonna move down here. The door to the science lab is frozen in place, as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. Well, that's just unfortunate. The door is frozen. Okay. Then again, it's probably for the best that we can't go in there anyway, because bad things tend to happen in the science lab, I've noticed, in every single Corpse Party game that I played so far. And I have little reason to doubt that it wouldn't be any different here. Let's go here.
一人で真っ暗な廊下を歩いていると、全身鳥肌が立つような感覚に包まれていく。
As I wandered through the darkened corridors, every hair in my body was standing at attention. I had goosebumps from head to toe.
まるで一歩ごとに不安という霧が体に絡みついてくる感覚。
It felt like a fog of uneasiness was swirling around me with each step I took.
それがどんどん重なって、いつかは完全に闇に飲み込まれて消えてなくなりそうな不安。
And that fog was growing thicker and thicker, to such an extent that I began fearing the darkness might swallow me whole, and I'd cease to exist.
正気をいつまで保っていられるのかわからない焦り。
I could feel my sanity slipping away. I didn't know how much longer it could hold out, and I was starting to lose patience. I just wanted to get it over with. Oh God. 17%. Do I have to be careful with how I go and examine things around the school? Like, can I not just go at my own pace and examine every little thing here without worry? Because that would suck. That would mean I'd have to basically coordinate which rooms I go at which points. And I'd also have to keep track of where certain items are and certain events take place. And then go within a specific order, so I guess a wrong end doesn't occur as a result of darkening. Certainly adds a degree of challenge to the whole thing, that's for sure. Or maybe I'm just imagining it, but I don't think I am. I think that I'm going to have to play this whole thing pretty smart if I want to get out of this whole thing alive without too much difficulty.
怖いという感覚は粘着質だ。拭っても拭ってもぬるぬるとこびりついて取れない。
Fear was like a slime covering my entire being. No matter how much I wiped, I was only squishing it around. It wouldn't come off. It was stuck fast.
歩きながら聖子の名前を呼ぶことで感覚をシャットダウンして、私はかろうじて自我を保っていたように思える。
I walked around aimlessly, calling out Seiko's name. By doing so, I think I was able to dull my senses and just barely maintain my grip on reality.
聖子！どこ？返事して！私どうかしてた！謝りたいの！
Seiko! Where are you? Please answer me. I wasn't thinking straight. I want to apologize.
通路の先の真っ暗闇に光る筋が一瞬見えた気がする。斜めに、縦に、複数。なんだろう。
Up ahead, I swore I saw a light glinting off of something. It looked for a moment like a web of sinewy strings stretched all across the hall. Piano wire, I assume?
恐る恐る近づいてみると、
Looks like it.
確かに光る線がある。
I slowly crept
私は
forward.
そっとその線に指を触れてみた。
I slowly crept forward until I could confirm that they were, in fact, strands of wire. Gently, I reached out a finger and touched the closest one.
刺激に驚いて離した指を見てみると、裂けた指の傷口にプツプツと赤い水玉が並んでいた。
I pulled my hand away. Looking down at it, there was now a very fine, clean slice right on the tip of my finger. Tiny red beads were beginning to form. You know, wire of this sort really wouldn't be this sharp in real life. I mean, you would only likely get cut if you were to just charge right into it. Otherwise, just touching it really wouldn't cut you that way unless it was like razor wire or something. It's something about fiction that always piqued my curiosity as to why piano wire was just typically portrayed with such absurd levels of sharpness. Maybe it started like with an old Hollywood movie or something from like the 1950s or 60s, and it just grew to a trend or something, or could be a foreign film, for all I know, from either a European region or Japan. I don't know. But I'm certain that it had to have originated somewhere several decades ago, and since then it's just been something that was copied in many works of fiction ever since. A lot of tropes tend to work that way.
血の玉はみるみる大きくなり、やがてつながって大きな血の雫になった。
Those beads just kept getting bigger and bigger as I watched, eventually swelling into one another and forming a single drop of blood.
指を伝って手首の方に流れ出る。
And that drop quickly became too heavy for its perch. It began wending its way down my hand, toward my wrist.
ピアノ線。ワイヤー。
You know, I just had a thought. If I just skipped ahead further past this hall instead of stopping right here first, would I have ended up having Naomi charge right into it and basically get her shish kebabbed and sliced up? Not shish kebab, but sliced up. I guess it's a good thing then in that case, I guess it's a good thing I'm definitely taking my time here exploring room by room then, or hallway segment by hallway segment. Because that would have been unfortunate indeed if I had accidentally did that. Piano wire? No, it's a little different.
少し撫でただけでこんなに深く皮膚が切れるなんて。
I couldn't believe it had cut so deeply from just that one faint touch. Well, you know, on second thought, considering that this is heavenly hosts that we're dealing with, and pretty much this every follicle of dust in this place is of supernatural origin, I guess piano wire having such sharpness in a place like this really isn't that much of a stretch. There's a hell of a lot more lethal things in this place, after all, than something like this. So.
何これ？研いであるの？
Had it been sharpened?
痛い。こんなのが張り巡らされた廊下。気づかずに通ったら大変なことになる。
It really stung. If I had noticed those wires strung up across the hall and just kept walking, I started to think of what might have happened, and it's a good thing indeed that I didn't just rush on ahead after all. So,
幽霊とかじゃなくて、人為的な罠。誰がこんなこと。
Not being in a hurry to go anywhere did me a huge favor here. Death not from malevolent spirits, but from a mere booby trap. Who could have done this?
私は何者かの悪意を感じて身震いした。
There was definitely a planned malice behind it. I could sense an ill will in the air and began to tremble.
まさか今この瞬間もここを私を見ている。
Someone watching me, even at that very moment?
私が罠に引っかかって死んだり、ひどい目に遭えばよかったのにって誰かが悔しがっている。
Was someone just waiting for me to fall into their trap and die so they could gloat about it? Most likely. Oh, what was that?
誰か見てるの？
Oh. ねえ! Is someone there? Hey!
自制が効かずに口をついて言葉が出た。怖い、ひどい、許せない。
It was like an unconscious shout. I couldn't control myself. Yeah, I'm up 19%. I was scared. And whoever did this was heartless. I couldn't just let it go.
やだよ！やめて！怖いから！ひどいことしないでよ！
Stop this! Please! You're scaring me. Don't do these awful things to people.
いろんな感情がぐるぐる回って、私は無意識に涙を流していた。
A bevy of negative emotions began swimming through my head. I suddenly realized I was crying.
切断線が張り巡らされたこの通路は、このままじゃ進むことができない。
And I knew that this corridor with its web of razor-sharp piano wire was effectively impassable, at least for the moment.
何かこの線を切れるような道具とか、とにかく罠を解除しないと。
I needed to find some way to cut these wires, or some means of disabling the trap at any rate. Well, there are scissors in the infirmary.
私は来た道を
Hope you
引
don't
き返
mind
す
a
こ
little
とにした。
blood. I decided to go back the way I came and search the rest of the school for answers. Anything in this hall? Might as well look here before I head back to the infirmary. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's go here. Okay, darkening is still at 19%. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly increases it. Just time passing, making making a certain amount of moves on the map. Just what? Anyway, scissors should be here, I think. Well, come on, they're right there. So you're just not going to bother with it then. Suit yourself, Naomi. Wait a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't go down that way. I thought you were just gonna charge right over the hole or something for a sec. That was kind of scary. Okay, you're still at 19%. Wait. What about these glass shards? Oh, come on, man. If not, the scissors itself would have worked just fine. And if not that, then at least these glass shards would work. So, come on. Come on, Naomi, use your head. Get something that's obviously sharp and use it. Yeah, I'm just going to keep bringing up the pause menu. Just so I can keep an eye on my darkening status. Because like I said, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how the darkening system here works. How it works. So... So it allows me to pull up blocks that are not on the map proper. That same bloody mess caught my eye every time I walked past it. I couldn't help but look, and it really never got any easier to see. Ugh. What's with my vision? Oh, shit. I should probably leave. Okay, note to self, avoid this hall. Great. There's a red haze all over my vision now. Fuck. Nothing. Still 21%. Now, it was this hall I can't go down, yes? What about that one? Yeah, I see the little thing over there. Never mind. So yeah, it was this hall, so never mind that. It's some sort of mechanism with a lever attached to it. Unfortunately, there's too much piano wire in the way, making it impossible to get to. Sturdy, sharpened piano wire is strung tightly across the entire width of the corridor, from wall to wall. There's a large hole in the floor here, with a single board stretched across it, serving as a makeshift bridge. So I obviously need to go through here at some point. So this is the dangerous hall. So let's go here. And I guess let's try avoid going down the hall with the bloody remains as much as possible. I don't think there's going to be anything in the infirmary, at least for now. I'll need to go back to, so I will leave that alone. The door to classroom 3A is frozen in place, as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. What's this? Smudgy blood red lettering reads, "Getting close to the darkness is one way to learn the truth. This whole place sits close to darkness, after all. Ain't that the truth?" The door is frozen in place, as if it's just a decoration on the wall, can't be opened. Nothing here but that memo. Looks like 2A is open. So maybe the darkening only goes up if I go near things that are likely to stir negative emotions within the character I'm controlling. So, for example, those bloody remains in that one hallway, that for sure seems to be doing something, I think, every time I go down there. So, what else could possibly be affecting Naomi? I don't remember if seeing those piano wires for the first time affected her or not. I don't think it did. Let's see what's in here. Hello, I see something on the chalkboard. Nothing. Okay, this is the only thing here.
黒板に文字が書いてある。お
Soul,
前の友達は裏切り者。殺される。逃げろ。
soul burned by waves of energy, pay tribute to God in this house of Shinozaki, purified by the flames of hell, judgment past and the great beyond. The following words were scrawled on the blackboard. Your friend is a traitor. You're going to be killed. Run?
何これ。
This
さっき聖子と来た時はこんなの書いてなかったよ。
shouldn't have been here. It wasn't on the board when I first got here as Seiko. Yeah, that's certainly true. So, besides you and Satoshi remembering what happened before, bit by bit, as time goes on, there's clearly some differences going on in this loop that didn't happen in the original one. So I guess the main question is, who left this particular message here and why? And I think I might also understand the context behind this message and who it's actually referring to.
誰かが書いたとしか思えない。
But I won't say
私たちの仲を裂
because
くために。
it's massive spoilers for Corpse Party Blood Covered. And I know I haven't really been keeping a lid on spoilers in general in this thing so far because, well, the game itself clearly doesn't expect you. The game itself doesn't really do that much, it seems, or at least I don't think it's going to. So it tells me it's kind of expecting me to just know this stuff before going in. So, but whatever. If I feel like it's relevant to bring it up, I will. Otherwise, for now, I'll keep my mouth shut on that one particular thing. At least for now. Somebody had to have written it recently, but why? To create a rift in our friendship?
人だか霊だかわかんないけど、ひどい。頭がおかしくなりそうになる。
I didn't know if it was a person or a ghost who did this, but whoever it was a terrible thing to do. This was all really starting to get to me.
誰かいるの？嫌がらせはやめて！
Is somebody in here? Stop harassing me, whoever you are. Did my darkening go up again?
なんなのよ！
I can't take this anymore. I just can't.
「見えない存在に怒りをぶつける」「私も危険な精神状態かもしれない」
I didn't even know whom I was angry with. But make no mistake, I was seething. I was probably really close to my breaking point.
両目から勝手に流れ出る涙も拭かずに、その部屋を後にした。
I ran out of the room, never even pausing to wipe the tears from my eyes. Don't let it get to you, Naomi. Because clearly things are playing out differently than before, so... even if it's only in minor differences so far, so there might be a chance that maybe we could influence the timeline in a different way. But... I don't know. So far I have no reason to think that that's really likely. Because if there... as in... there's a way I'd be able to actually save Seiko. Because I have no reason to really suspect that there's really anything that any of us here can do outside the few minor differences that we're seeing and able to enact here and there. It could be just a sort of time loop here that really that keeps you in the dark about itself to the point to where you won't really know the full scope of it and what you may or may not be able to do until it's generally too late to do anything about it. Because I don't think this thing is going to really give Naomi or Satoshi any seriously big bits of information about itself and the original timeline before things happen that kind of pretty much makes history repeat itself and thus give them an opportunity to do something to change it. Or maybe it will later on as this whole thing continues. I have no idea. Either way, I'm sure I'll figure out how exactly this time loop is going to work as I continue to play. Also, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut the episode off here. So we can continue looking for a way to get to Seiko in the next episode, and maybe, at the same time, see if maybe I can keep Naomi from succumbing to darkening. Although, whether or not I'll be able to in the end, I have no idea, but if I'm being honest with myself, I think it's kind of unlikely. But again, we'll see, I suppose. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. If you did and you want to see more content from me, hey, I didn't give you permission to move. If you want to see more content from me and you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next time. Take care.